Hi, this is Todd, and welcome to the Thrive Singles Podcast. Whether you're single again or still single, stop hating being single and learn to thrive. And welcome back to another episode of the Thrive Singles Podcast from thrivesingles.com. Glad to have you with me today. If you've been listening to this for a while and find it helpful, why not go ahead and give us a like and pass this on to a few people? When you like and share, it really does help get this helpful resource in front of more people who need to hear these things. Today's episode is a little more lighthearted, but when you stop and think about it, it really does pack a wallop and it just might step on your toes a little. So here it is, just what you've been waiting for, your unscientific, unofficial guide to the top 10 ways to be unattractive to the opposite sex. You know, during the many years I was single, I came across a lot of people very skilled at being unattractive. Their unattractiveness included, but was not limited to, unattractive looks, attitudes, behaviors. Now, this was kind of irritating when trying to find a date, but actually when trying to get the attention of someone I was interested in, it was actually kind of helpful because in many cases, the competition was very skilled at being unattractive. So anyway, without further ado, drum roll please. The number 10 way to be unattractive to the opposite sex? Dress funny. That's right, go ahead. Wear those outdated, mismatched, worn-out clothes the people who love you warn you to never wear in public. Express your quirkiness by bucking the style trends. You know, trends like wearing clothes that match, have complementary colors, fit properly. And you could, as a grown-up, wear shirts with juvenile sayings on them. That would work too. Number 9, act like your date is not important. Interrupt. Talk over your date. In general, make sure that they know that you and your opinions are important. Them and their opinions, not so much. Pay more attention to other people in the room than to them. For instance, if you're a guy, you could ogle or chat up the waitress. Or for guys or girls, you could show up late. For no good reason. With no explanation. On multiple occasions. Number 8. Be gross. Go ahead, pick your nose. Sneeze into your hand, then shake hands with people. Forget to use deodorant. Show up with alcohol in your breath and your tongue well lubricated so you can say all kinds of pithy and clever things. At least you think they are. And never check yourself in the mirror before you leave for a date. Just in general, be gross, unmindful, and unkempt. Number 7. Be a terrible conversationalist. Only be conversant in one very obscure or morbid subject. Don't read a lot and don't keep up with current news stories, sports stories, scientific discoveries, or any subject that might be possibly interesting to anybody. Number 6, be a Debbie Downer. Talk about diseases, natural disasters, lingering infections, your aunt's toe fungus, your long-deceased pet's tragic death, and all the things you don't like about, well, everything. And make sure that every time someone changes the subject to a happier, more lighthearted thing, you seize that opportunity to segue to a very sad or troubling story. Number 5, act flaky and unstable. Try to get really serious really quickly. Like on your first date, tell them you intend to get married as soon as possible. And speaking of the first date, you could ask lots of really personal questions right at the beginning. And bonus points if you actually take notes and write them down. Number 4, talk incessantly about your ex. Enough said. Number 3, make it all about you. Talk about yourself a lot. Anytime the conversation veers away from you, steer it back repeatedly and forcefully if necessary. Make frequent use of the words I, me, and my, and stay away from asking about them. Talk a lot about what you need in a spouse and ask if they can handle that. Number 2, lack self-confidence. Act shy, apologize a lot, put yourself down every chance you get. Remember, they're much too good for you. You don't deserve to go out with them. In fact, they probably don't even like you and only went out on this date because they feel sorry for you. And the number 1 way to be unattractive to the opposite sex? Be a jerk. That's right. Talk down to people, act angry, impatient, brag, show off, point out everyone's faults and how superior you are. Perhaps you could even throw in a racial slur or make fun of a disabled person. Or you could make a big deal about paying for everything. And just for good measure, forget your wallet. And, just because I like you, I'm going to throw in a bonus tip. And this is mostly for you older guys. Go for the comb-over. No chick anywhere at any time digs the comb-over. And there you have it. Your unofficial, unscientific top 10 ways and 1 bonus way to be unattractive to the opposite sex. And I'm sure I forgot a few. So, which are the most unattractive things did I leave out? And which one do you most relate to or you've seen the most of? Let me know in the comments. You can comment on Facebook, Twitter, our website, thrivesingles.com, whatever's good for you, because this is all about you. Till next time. I hope you enjoyed this week's podcast. See you next week. Till then, be sure to subscribe and go check out my extensive archive of past posts at thrivesingles.com. And thrive on. Whoa, thrive. Yeah, come alive. There's more to life. You gotta grow. You gotta thrive. Whoa, whoa, you gotta thrive. There's more to life than to just survive.